Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm County Executive Jan Gardner. Joining me today is the Director of Frederick County Public Libraries, Daryl Batson. Welcome, Daryl.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So I want to start off by saying, what's happening that's exciting at Frederick County Public Library?
I guess the bigger question is what's not happening there. We're getting ready for our summer reading program. This year it's a little different. It's not just the children. We're opening it up to adults and it's kind of called the Summer of Wonder. We want to get everyone involved. We're actually working with local businesses to get them involved into it. Really to pick up the details, you need to go to FCPL.org. I can't say that real fast and find out about it. But we finally made the determination that sending a child out to a program and saying, read that book, and the child comes home and mom and dad are doing this and that and watching television, the child's not going to sit and read the book. But if we get the family involved reading the book, the child will read the book. Right. So we're trying to spread it out more than just the children, but the family as a whole.
So that then they can talk about it and ask questions. It could be a dinner table conversation.
Even they can message each other about. I don't know what they're going to do about it.
They can sit in the house and text message
each other. That's one. The other is, as we talked previously, the 3D printers. We received a grant and added 4 more 3D printers. They're going to Thurmont, Urbana, and Brunswick, besides the one we currently have at Seabury Arts. And that's an expansion of our STEM programs.
And that's a really cool device. It was very different,
yes.
Very different than what I had imagined it to be. So I think the adults are as enthralled with how that 3D printer works as the students, as the children.
Well, that's the problem when we get volunteers in the library at the STEM lab. We have to kind of pull them away from the 3D printer so they'll do other things. It really kind of one attaches oneself to it. It's a lot of fun. But more importantly, it teaches.
And that's what it's all about. It's all about learning. Lifelong learning is what libraries are about. So can you tell us a little bit about how many people use the library system each year?
Well, for a full fiscal year that we use, the same as the counties, last year, 2.8 million people use the library.
Wow.
Yeah. 1.2 walked through our doors, and 1.6 contacted us over the internet, the website, and performed some function. They checked out a book, they reserved a book, they paid a fine, they researched a paper. As same as if they walked physically into the library. But 2.8 million visits, that's a lot of visits.
That's a lot of visits. Over 1 million is a lot of visits. So that residents of Frederick County are actually coming into the library, enjoying the programming, taking advantage of the opportunities that are here, far beyond just checking out a book.
Yes, we're not the stereotypical library that people sometimes have locked into their mind of the 1950s. It used to be you had noisy rooms set aside for study groups that were going to make noise. Now we have quiet rooms set aside. Libraries are a lot more active. There's a lot more going on. It's more of a community meeting center as well as an information center. Political announcements are made. Public groups come and go. There's just a sense of activity all the time in them. That's a different library than the ones of our past.
Well, certainly there's a lot of special events. Can you talk about what might be coming up soon?
Oh, wow. I have a long list at home I should have brought. Well, we just finished up with the Celtic Music Concert. Frederick reads. We have one more coming up with the Frederick Speakers Series that we work in conjunction with. This summer, besides the summer reading program, Urbana has a wonderful music series out on their deck towards more of the Americana or bluegrass music, and they bring in different groups. They're constantly children's programs. We concentrate more on the children's because we're finding out that, as you have said many times, when we get these kids educated and involved, it makes a stronger community, it makes a stronger workforce, it makes a happier unit that has the children when the children are actively involved in the learning process all year long and not just the 9 months of formal education.
Is there something unique going on at the libraries that you'd like people to know, that you'd like to use this opportunity to share?
The big thing that I'd really like to do are the STEM labs. Because that's the latest expansion. We've done some new technology things, which I'll talk about in a second, but the STEM labs, allow the parent and the child, or the caregiver and the child, to come in together and create together. They can make mini computers, they can use a 3D printer, they can use chemistry to see reactions. If they're really young, we have an early childhood literacy center downstairs at Seaber Arts, and also a new one down at Brunswick that actually helps a child through play learn all about their math and their reading and their all sorts of literacy. The reason we're working so much towards children is the way our libraries have evolved the last 3 years. Libraries traditionally were about 2/3 adult readers and 1/3 children's readers. Right now, 55% of our reading is done by children and 45% by adult. It has changed. We are more going towards the children and less adult. Now, those numbers are a bit misleading because we're talking millions, so there's still lots of adults coming in and a lot of children. But we're finding out, as we have tied in more and more with the education process, we get more children coming in. They're checking out books electronically. Okay. Is it called Tumbleweed? Where you can get a book and not only read it, but it's read to you. And you can listen to books, and parents can, if they haven't run down to the library, can go online, check out a book, and sit down with their child and read an easy book to them.
Now, with the electronic age and people having all kinds of devices now where they can read all kinds of things on their phone, on their iPads, what's the usage of the technology component of our libraries? Are people coming in to use our computers?
Oh, yes. Yeah, our computers, we have 200 public computers. So far this year, and this is just the first 7 months, we have 75,000 hours of usage on those computers. And on our Wi-Fi, we have 35,000 users, not hours, but users. We have people coming in and they do business, they do homework, they talk to each other, they telecommute, they run their own. We see more and more people in the electronic, but we also see the people in the traditional reading. That's the balance libraries have to have. Here's electronic, here's print. They're both being needed. How do you balance that?
Well, there's definitely a need and an interest in our libraries. I think they're beautiful places and enjoyable places to go. I was just at the Thurmont Regional Library, and the environment is so inviting, from the children's area to the outside deck to the section where we're maintaining agricultural history for Frederick County. So every library is different and unique. And I really think it would be beneficial for our residents in our community to literally travel around and go to the different libraries to see what they each have to offer that is unique to that part of the county.
You're right. In fact, that's one of our programs in the summer reading program.
It is.
To go to visit each library and get your card stamped, and you get a special reward for that. And the purpose is to let the people in the county see all those wonderful libraries and their specialties we have spread throughout the county. And so we had over 600 or 700 people last summer do that.
Now, one of the questions, one of the things I've heard over the years is that Sunday is the most popular day of the week in our public libraries. Do you think that's the case?
Oh, I know it's the case.
Okay.
Hour for hour, we're busier on Sunday than any other day. We open at 1 o'clock. And I'll probably get in trouble for saying this. But we do it because by 1 o'clock, you've either woken up, sobered up, or got out of church. You've done one of those three things, and then we get the families at the libraries. We find if we open sooner than that, we run into conflicts, and it just doesn't work. But then they just beat down the doors. We're very busy on Sunday afternoons.
Well, I think it's a relaxing time for families to get together and go to the library. For people with children, they have all the sports activities on Saturdays.
Yes.
So I think Sunday's very popular. You know, at one time, a long time ago, we didn't have Sunday hours. And people have questioned whether that's really a useful time for families, and it definitely is.
That is probably our strongest family time. I was the one that actually installed that, and you're right, we did get some holdback from not only the community but the staff. But when we actually implemented it, it never slowed down. That's when the families come on in.
Well, I know that one of your areas of expertise is actually building a library system and creating a library system, and we are looking forward to the construction of a new branch library in Walkersville.
Oh, there you got my love. Yes, we hope to get Walkersville up and going in 2017 is what our hope is. We built a prototype library in Brunswick. It's a cheaper to build prototype, but we can adapt it for the community we put it in. So we already have the land up in Walkersville. We've had it for a number of years, and we're really looking forward to putting one in that kind of reflects Walkersville, the community. The library will go from 2,500 square feet to 15,000 square feet.
Make a big difference.
Oh, a big difference.
So
and we expect them to swamp it.
I know people in Walkersville are anxious. They think it may be never coming, but I do hope to accomplish getting that library constructed and open during my term in office.
Well, we're all for you doing that.
Now, before we conclude, if people want to find out about the programs we've talked about, sign their children up for a STEM class or for a summer reading program, is everything available on the Frederick County Public Library webpage?
FCPL.org. Everything is there. You can come in and find printed material that will tell you, but the best way is FCPL.org.
All right.
Everything's available to them.
Okay. Well, thank you for all you and your staff do. Frederick County Public Libraries are a fun place to visit. They're a great extension of our community, and they provide an opportunity for learning for people of all ages, from books for babies all the way up to senior citizens.
That's right.
So thank you very much. Thank you for joining this edition of Community Conversations. We hope you learned a little bit about our wonderful, beautiful Frederick County Public Libraries, and we hope you'll take advantage of some of the programs and community events that they offer.